And again of morning drive, I lost signal, and then no one was responding to my question of if there was sound. So I assumed that there was no sound when we lost it because of the lost signal. Anyway, so we're heading from Gettysburg. Had to stop and get gas up to Gettysburg. Just past the Steinway Avenue exit, which I was probably going to take, but we lost the signal before then, so we didn't do it. So we'll see. The next one would be the Tawnytown Road exit. Maybe we'll take that. I'm sure most people don't come in that way, so we'll take that. Good morning, 6 questions. How are you? Do-over indeed. Exactly, Peter. Again, did the sound go out when I lost my connection there for like a split second? Good morning, Barbara. So I'm stuck behind this, what the hell is that? Like a cattle truck or something? Some kind of a cage apparatus there. Maybe it's for a circus or something. I don't know. But we're going to get off soon. Good morning, Bill, from Florida. Oh, very nice. What's the weather like down there? It's like 90 degrees already. So I'm going into work today, and I think I'm going to try to start a basic edit for July 2nd's anniversary show. It's a little more complicated. I spent a good chunk of the afternoon the other day, I guess that would have been Monday, moving all the files over to the hard drive and then trying to sync the sound, because we had 5 cameras. And when you have 5 cameras, you know, each one records sound on its own. But those aren't the ones that we typically use for the audio that you're going to see in the final video. We record that audio separately. So we have Jim, or on Thursday or Saturday, last Saturday it was Jim and I, but you know, the guest and I are mic'd, and that goes into a separate recorder, and then the audience is mic'd in another recorder. And so now we got to take all those sounds and sync them together so that when you watch it, our lips are not out of sync with the visual. I'm sorry, with the audio. AI is a wonderful thing. It's also the scariest thing on earth, because basically nobody's gonna be able to get work with whatever their particular art or talent is anymore, because AI is gonna kill it. But it's a helpful tool, and I wish it would just remain that. But it won't. So, but anyway, the program I use is DaVinci Resolve. It has the ability where you just highlight all the clips and you tell it to sync, and usually it gets it on the first or second try. It's obviously a little more complicated when you're using multiple sources, but I finally got it to sync, and now I'm going to go in and start making cuts. So that'll be fun. So I'll do a live video on Patreon today, so you can watch paint dry again, but you also kind of get a preview as to what everybody else has to wait till July 1st to see for free. So there you go. Membership has its privileges, although they're really boring privileges. Hot and muggy. Summer arrived this week. Oh boy. Muggy. It's, you know, I love heat. It's the mug. The mug I'm not a fan of. But I'll take that over freezing cold rain and snow any day. Any day. Any day of the week. Pick a day. Any day. Thursday, I'll take it. Sunday, I'll take it too. How about Tuesday? A lot of people forget Tuesdays. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. All right, so we're on the Tawny Town Road. We're coming up. The round tops are to our left. And up here is the intersection of Wheatfield Road. And we're going to turn onto it, making a left-hand turn. Hopefully we won't lose signal. We're not going to go down into the valley because that's where we lose signal, but we're going to make a right on Sedgwick. And then we'll go, we'll go to our Culp's Hill ride, and I don't know, maybe I'll loop out to the first day and then come back into town and end the video then. Good morning, Flying Flynn from Portage, Michigan. Michael Bozio says hello from Boston. Beauregard says good day, Governor, from the Boston area. We got 2 Bostonians, very nice. Peter Zach says, anyone free this weekend? Fort Ticonderoga is doing the reenactment of the capture of the fort with the Green Mountain Boys. I would like to see that. I'm not free this weekend, but I would like to see that. Good morning, Gail. Ron Morris says, good morning again. Enjoyed being in the studio last week and taping the of the day 3 show with Jim Hessler. Had a good 4 days in town. Thank you. I've been hearing, I'll give you the same response I did on the last video that I deleted. I've been hearing format, which is very encouraging for me. And he gave me a really nice compliment about it yesterday, which I'll keep to myself. But I'm encouraged by the good things that I'm hearing about it. So I will. Obviously, we're going to continue to do that, and to be, somewhat transparent with you. I'll be translucent with you right now. The format for this is like these shows we did this way because it's kind of like they call it a beta test, I guess. Or would it be an alpha test because it's the first one? I don't know. I never really understood why. But anyway, it's kind of it's a pilot or a trial balloon or a canary in the coal mine type of a thing for larger ideas that we have, and hopefully we'll be able to get funded through Digital History Pioneers in the next year or so. But we've got really big ideas. The problem is the funding, obviously, and you keep hearing me say that, and I don't want to bore you with that again today. I'm rolling down the window. It's too nice to be. Ah, yes, lovely. Anyway, it's promising for that. Yeah, we've got some pretty big ideas that we're working on a larger scale, and trying that format was a way. It's if you're gonna fail, it's better to fail in front of 20 people than 200. So that's where we're going there. 6 questions says, Peter Zach, that is interesting, and I would love to, but I am supporting Eric Dorr in his museum on Saturday. Oh, yeah. I will be there as well. We're interviewing Captain Dale Dye, so that'll be fun. Katie Wolf, good morning. Thanks for a great drive video. Peter Zach says, 6 questions, understandable. Right. Stella says, good morning, Matt. I trust you and everyone else is doing fine. Miss all of you. Good morning, Stella. We miss you too. Always nice to see your smiling face and pleasant demeanor. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, or hoping. Peter, how are you doing? Peter says they probably have a recording. Okay. Greg says, good morning from Niagara on the Lake Canada. Very nice. Good morning to you. Stella says, last Saturday was great. I actually engaged with it. That was scary. Yeah, but you did fine. I think I'm glad you did, Estella, and I'm glad Beth did. I remember Beth was saying that she's shy on the day 2 recording, and I was like, who the hell are you fooling? But you both talked, and I thought you guys did great. I think even Glenn spoke at one point, and that's good. I mean, that honestly, I knew there would be certain people who would have no problem talking. My hope was that the Shire people would be the ones to speak up, and they did, and that was good. That made me happy. Sixth question says, already missing you, Estella, and you did great on Saturday. That's right. Stella said, Beth shy? Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Asked, like, who's shy on July 2nd? I said, who's shy around here? You know, who's, afraid to talk about? Her hand shot right up, and I was like, who the F are you kidding? Like, you're not shy. But I think it's different. Like, she's not shy in, a social, fun, group, casual environment. When you put a camera and a microphone in somebody's face and you have to talk now, I think that intimidates people a little bit. So I understand what she was saying. But she did great too. You guys all did great. I'm very excited to just get them edited and have them come out. Now watch, they won't go over with a home viewing audience. It's only something that people who are in the room will enjoy. And my great big hope will be dashed. There's the cemetery right up in front of us there. Can't see any of the graves because it's behind a wall, but it's there. Trust me, it's there. And if you look, you can kind of see right there, you can kind of see the top of the Pennsylvania Memorial. And then if we look this way, you can see good old George Meade right there. So just to give you an idea of where we are and how it all relates to other parts that you're familiar with. Now, always make a full stop here, and I'll tell you why. 2 weeks after moving back here, I made a rolling stop, and one of the law enforcement, which their office is right here to the left, was coming out of the driveway, and he saw me and pulled me over right here. And I got my my welcome back package. It was like a $35 ticket. It wasn't a big deal. Be careful. Stella says, I don't know if I'm ready to watch myself. Speaking was one thing, but watching, yuck. Well, just put it on in the background and mute it, just so that we get the view, if you don't mind. Sixth question says, I was sitting behind Tom Canavan and beside Ron Moore, and Beth and Bo was behind me, and I was feeding off their energy all night. Yeah, that was a good little crowd. Even Bo got involved, which I think he was really interested in it. I don't remember, like, he's been to some of our shows before like that, and he just kind of was like a quiet observer and everything. But he really got into it there, and I accidentally called him Bruce, and I don't know why. But I'm trying to, and then, yeah, so I was like, as soon as I said it, I'm like, who the hell is Bruce? Like, where did that come from? And then he made a joke, wrong, what did he say? You got the wrong ex-husband of Melissa or something like that, which I thought was a good comeback. Yeah, it was good. It was a good crowd. All 3 days were a good crowd. Michael says, you didn't go, don't you know who I am, to get out of that ticket? I wasn't who I am when I got the ticket. I was just starting. So, but when I first moved here, or when I first lived here, I was young and full of piss and vinegar. And so I knew that I had the right to criticize the Park Service because they were the government. And I thought that because they're the Park Service and I have that right, they can't hold it against me. but they did. And so, and they absolutely can. They're not supposed to, but they can. So I had to, I was afraid to say who I was because I didn't know if he was here during my previous stint. And I was like, I best not, of course, he saw my driver's license. And I don't think he was here. I think he was a newer guy. But no. And that doesn't actually work around here for me. If I go, don't you know who I am? People go, oh yeah, you're that guy. And then they go, actually, we just closed. We have no tables left and we're closing the kitchen in 15 minutes. So I usually, when I go to a restaurant, I either send somebody else in first or I wear a disguise. Ron Moore says, as a retired police officer, just a hint. If you have to tell me who you are, it's not going to work. Yeah. I've noticed that. I love to watch body cam videos and, police chase videos and stuff on YouTube. It's like the only thing that gets the adrenaline pumping for me anymore. And I love to watch when like the mayor or a council person or the DA gets pulled over and they try to pull that, or the chief of police in another department. That was one of my favorites. Like I love that. I mean, my guess is that if you're gonna be let off for something because of who you are, it's going to be because the person with the power to let you off decides to do it out of a professional courtesy or some other thing. Not because you have to go, don't you know who I am? Because you're right, if you have to do that, then it's over. Nobody likes that. Stella says, God forbid, sorry. God forbid, I parked on a blade of grass one time. I got in trouble. Only the beavers are allowed to do what they want. Oops, did I just say that? Beard hell. Yeah, I know. It won't be like that forever. This too shall pass. Everything does, even good times. I just got to weather the storm. And then when it's over, then we can tell the young folk, oh, there was a time when we weren't allowed to do anything, but beavers were flooding the whole damn Valley of Death. We couldn't do a goddamn thing. It was okay if you went fishing, but if you parked 6 inches on the grass, they'd shoot you on sight. We make up those tall tales like that. Back in those days, they were very hostile towards the people they needed for visitation. They treated us like we were some kind of aliens or an invasive species. And then the people were like, really? I can't believe that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Didn't you pay taxes back then? Oh, sure, we paid a lot of taxes, but they just felt entitled to them. Didn't want to actually let us use the place. I can see it now, sitting on the front porch, smoking a corncob pipe, drinking corn whiskey. There's a corn theme there. Peter Zach says, LOL, freak out when people recognize me. I always feel like I'm caught or going to get some complaint. Oh, I don't know. I find it to be pleasant. I've had pleasant experiences with people. I know one day that will end, but again, this too shall pass. But it is nice. Stella says, God, I hope I don't talk like that as I age. I hope I do. That would be great. Oh, yeah, sure. I remember that. I think I will, actually. Like, even if that's not my natural voice, I'll just put that on. I saw a headline this morning, Peter, that said they had black smoke, so I guess there's no Pope. What will we do without one? Everyone eventually turns into Walter Brennan, that's right. Especially when we lose our teeth. Can't. Now we're heading into town on Baltimore Street. There's the Gettysburg Tour Center on the right. Don't confuse that with the Visitor Center. A lot of people do. They know they're coming for a tour and they're supposed to go to the Visitor Center, and they say, oh, Gettysburg Tour Center, and it's on the Baltimore Pike, so they assume that's it. And they are incorrect. I had a lot of people call us when we had the bike tours, and people were like, yeah, I'm here at the tour center, but I don't see you. And I go, are you at the tour center or are you at the visitor center? And they go, the sign said tour center. And I go, we're at the visitor center. And most people go, oh, God, they felt stupid. One lady actually got mad at us. And she's like, well, you should tell us that. And I go, it's all over the confirmation emails. It's on our website. And the address itself is. So I'm assuming you were using your GPS. So you ignored your GPS. You just saw the sign. You said, oh, this must be it. But I think she was just having a bad life. So she had to take it out on someone. All right, we're going to make a left on Middle Street. Correct, Barbara. No show tonight. We're coming back to the third Thursday. So what is this? Is that next week already? I guess it would be, because first Thursday of last week we did a show. This week we're off. Next week we're back. We're not normally doing them 2 in a month, but I felt like we needed to do it last week because we didn't say we're not doing it next week. So I felt we owed you guys that. The diehard fans, of course. How you doing, Dennis M? Peter Zach said, who would you refer for a guide for just the first day in depth? Well, if he did tours still, I would say you go with Tim Smith. He loves first day. Charlie Fennell would be good. Jim Pangburn would be good. I mean, really anybody that we've had on the show probably could do good first day in depth. Whether they think they can or not is another story. But those guys, yeah. I know Charlie, even though he's the Culps Hill guy, he's a real big first day guy. So Charlie would be good. Like I said, Jim Pangburn. Jim Hessler just wrote a book about it, so he's got a lot of stuff fresh in his mind. And he's retired now, so he's got more time to give tours. So, you know, any one of those guys, let me know and I can put you in touch with them through email. Jeff says, good morning, listening in this morning while waiting to get some blood work done. No worries, it was planned, not urgent care. um, well, good. Enjoy your blood work. I'm actually, blood work fascinates me because it's amazing they can tell things. It's also amazing, like, sometimes they misread them, and then you find out it's not what it was or what they thought it was or whatever. The homesteading historian says, beautiful morning. It is a beautiful morning. It really is. I really don't want to go inside, but it is such a nice day that I had to do this. And all the leaves are out now. It looks like spring. It's fun. Okay, so this is the Fairfield Road. We're making a right onto Reynolds Avenue. So basically, we're coming in on the far left of the Union line on July 1st before they were pushed back to the seminary, which is to the right. And I don't know. I've always loved the first day's battlefield, like aesthetically. I just love the way it looks out here. It's wide open. It's just nice. Peter Zach says, okay, hopefully it won't be a fly-by-night trip, and I have noticed instead of kidnapped. Oh no, kidnapped to do historical stuff. Frank Lubbock says, there will be the devil to pay. That's right, and this is where it was paid. Homesteading historian says, always have to work when it's beautiful outside. Murphy's Law. I know. And then I have a day off and it's raining. But, I can't complain. I'm very lucky that I get to do this, and I get to make my own hours for the most part. And, so I do get to dally on my way into work by driving the long circuitous route in. Could have been in the office in 15 minutes, but how can you resist if you have a day like today?
Southerners are coming at.
Any future archaeological speakers? It's a good question. I do not know. I do not know. Oh, no. I'm not going to run a yellow on video. No, I don't know if we have any future archaeological. There will be 2 archaeological speakers at CWI, and we just went over the... By the way, are there any videographers in the audience that might want to go to CWI as part of the crew? I need you for one day. But anyway, there's 2 archaeological speakers at CWI that I believe I had said I'd like to talk to, but we got to see if they'll actually be able to do it. Just curious as to if they might have plans to do more battlefield studies. I know a lot of parks are doing more now. That's a good question. I haven't heard. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, my gut reaction would be no. I don't really know that they do a study unless they're doing some other work, and then because they're going to disturb the ground, they have to find what artifacts are there and everything, and so then they'll do a dig, like with Little Round Top, for example, or when they cleared that one slope of Culp's Hill. That's different, but I don't think they set out to do a study. I don't know. I'm sure they would love to be able to do that. I'm sure they're also going to, blame budget cuts and things for that type of stuff, and they'd probably be correct. But they also, for years they've been complaining about budget cuts. I remember last year I was told that they were told that they would not be receiving an increase in the budget this year, which I don't know. But so I doubt it. But maybe, who knows? Nobody tells me anything, so I know it when you know it. Okay, so we're gonna go left here on the Mummersburg Road. We'll go down through the college. Well, you're welcome, Bill. Oh yeah, I believe all the brats are gone or leaving. No, there's still a lot of Jersey plates around here. But the semester, I think, is over or almost over. Yeah, so we'll have the town back to ourselves, and then of course we will invade July 13th through the 18th for CWI Summer Conference. This year, I decided we're going to just shoot video interviews. In previous years, I never really knew how to cover it. What could we do? And I was always grateful that we kept getting invited, because I don't really know that it amounted to much for them to have us there. And so I was happy for that, because in all those years I got more of a feel for what the event was like. And then when we bought a camera, then I was like, okay, now I know what to do. And we did some video interviews, and I put a few of them out last year. I have a whole bunch more. And that's the other thing. So we used to go around and record. I'd give people recorders and I'd teach them how to use it, and they would go and record a lecture that they wanted to go listen to. And then, I'd put some of those lectures out. But it's audio only. Everything's moving towards video. I don't know. I didn't put them all out. So, and I guess because there was no overwhelming, response from the audience. And I was like, I don't really know why I'm doing this because, But then when I did the videos, then we got more positive feedback. So I go, you know what, this year we're just going to do video interviews. It's easier than having a whole big crew there. So we're going to have a smaller crew. I'm not going to need as many people. And it's just going to be video interviews. But that's why I need a videographer, because the two guys that I would call on, one of them is shooting for CWI that whole weekend, so he's not going to be available. And the guy that is kind of my go-to guy now, he's only available Saturday, and he has a prior commitment for the whole week starting Saturday night, so he's got to leave by 6 p.m. So and he can't leave his gear because he needs that for the prior commitment. So I'm looking for a videographer. You'd be able to be a part of the team, which means you'd get in for free because you're working, and you'd also get a meal card. So if you're a videographer and you've wanted to experience CWI, you can do it. You'll still be able to experience it and all that stuff. But just shoot me an email, matt@addressinggettysburg.com, and we'll see what we can do. Frank Levick says, one day I'm going to visit all the big battlefields. That is a good goal. Estella says, sorry I'm late to the game, but I know Larry K, who was just on AG. Oh, yeah, he's a first day guide. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sorry. He has a passion for the Iron Brigade. Absolutely. And we just did an episode on the Iron Brigade with Larry. It was our first live Ask a Gettysburg guide, which they're going to be live from now on, unless they're pre-recorded because we have something else going on that prohibits us from doing it live. Larry, excuse me, Larry was the guest. He did a great job, and we're very pleased with it. Everybody seemed to like that, and I think we did $140 in super chats and stuff like that. So thank you guys for that. That helps, because it actually, this is the one show that one-to-one costs us money to do, because I promised the guest and the crew that I'd feed them dinner, since we do it at dinner time. So I appreciate the help in defraying the cost of that. Beauregard says, looks nice. Michael says, it was a great episode. Thank you, Michael. By the way, if you follow us on Instagram, you can see our lovely Iron Brigade t-shirts. I highly recommend getting one of your favorite Iron Brigade designs from our store, and then when it arrives, put it on and watch the Iron Brigade show while wearing the Iron Brigade shirt. Studies show that it actually makes you retain the knowledge even better. It's an Iron Brigade energy circle, and that's how that works. Beauregard, do you like the Lincoln Diner? Do you like the Lincoln Diner? I choose not to answer those questions, because I don't want to, I don't like to do that. But I did go there. There are people I go with who insist upon going. It's what I call a traditional restaurant. You have a tradition of going there. You have a memory attached to it. It's like that your place, and you go. But yeah, so people do like it. I'll put it like that. People love it. How's that? Okay. I got to go get something to eat because I'm starving, and I will head into the studio. And if you're a patron, look for a live stream, and you'll get a little sneak peek as to the chaos that is editing a 5-camera shoot from July 2nd's anniversary recording. Thank you and good night.